Good evening. I am Jennifer Fairbank, Visiting Nurse Home and Hospice Chief Executive Officer. Welcome to our annual public meeting. We gather to look back on the previous year, typically in May, measure the health of the agency, and to honor employees and community members who exemplify our mission. While this meeting will be no different, it must be done a little differently. We entered 2020 with great enthusiasm. Execution of our new comprehensive strategic plan began and our first quarter goals were firmly underway. It was our 70th anniversary year. A wonderful celebration was planned for our May annual meeting at beautiful Ocean Cliff, and invitations were about to be printed. Then COVID-19 hit. During the challenging initial phase of the pandemic, our community was, for the most part, shut down. People were terrified and isolated, but our patients still needed us. I'm so proud and humbled to report that we never once closed our doors. Our nurses, CNAs, therapists, social workers, and all who lead and support them came to work each and every day. They are the true heroes. Our Visiting Nurse Home and Hospice family is demonstrating strength, leadership, and resilience in the face of the ongoing pandemic. 70 years after our founding, our commitment to this community has never wavered. Tonight, our annual public meeting finally happens, 5 months later and at a safe distance. While this is not a moment for traditional celebrating, we will want to mark this impressive milestone. In 1950, a few civic-minded Newporters recognized multiple public health concerns in their crowded city and formed the Newport Public Health Nursing Association. What started with a handful of nurses at 46 Clark Street grew into an agency that now serves all of Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts. Today we stand on the shoulders of those founders, as well as boards of directors, employees, volunteers, and donors past and present. What we are now is as important as our history. The agency video you are about to see showcases the depth and breadth of our services. We are premiering it tonight. Please watch it along with us. Visiting Nurse Home and Hospice has a rich 70-year history on Aquidneck Island. Today, we're the largest nonprofit, freestanding home healthcare organization in the state of Rhode Island.
We see patients literally from birth to death. We have a maternal child health program where we're seeing first-time parents, brand new babies, people age. We are seeing people needing a hip, needing a knee surgery, as well as help people in their comfort through the hospice program.
The community health programs at Visiting Nurse are really important in that we provide flu clinics, adult health clinics, blood pressure clinics to the community.
Patients don't want to go to a nursing home or somewhere else. They want to be home. They want to be where they're comfortable. They want to be with their loved ones. And why not home? So home care is, I think, where we need to be. Nurses do IV therapy. They take care of patients with feeding tubes and TPN and on vents. Things that most people don't even think can be taken care of in a home setting. And they love what they do. They love taking care of their patients. And the patients that we see now coming out of acute care settings, they come home much sicker, much quicker, and much more acute than what we've ever seen in home care. And our staff's trained to take care of those patients. They're trying to decrease the length of stay in a hospital. We work with the patient and the family and try to get them to a state of wellness so that they can manage their own care.
There you go, that's what we're looking for.
We have over 80 therapists, physical therapists, occupational therapists, and speech therapists. We work really closely with the families and the patients for their goals and what they want to do.
Our nursing teams, our palliative team is also our hospice team. So then when we admit patients onto our palliative care service, they are still getting their rehab and they're getting all those benefits. But when they're ready for hospice, they've already established that relationship with the nurse, and that nurse is going to care for them and their families. Sometimes these patients are really ill, and these are difficult decisions that they're making. By being part of this decision-making process with them, I'm able to give them the support that they need.
Hospice is a type of care that's provided to patients in their families when a patient is really at end of life. And it's a multidisciplinary approach to care, meaning we focus on not just the physical needs of the patient, but the emotional and spiritual needs as well. Our hospice team here is wonderful. It consists of course, nurses, home health aides, spiritual counselors or chaplains, and our social work team.
I was an internist in Newport for 37 years and had a very outstanding relationship with the organization in terms of caring for my patients. The caring dealt with not just nursing care and medical care, but with compassion.
I had access to visiting nurse and Joan coming on a weekly basis, and that was really something that helped make me know that we were on the right track and Audley's health was on the right track and everything was going well. And I'm lucky enough that Joan said I could text her at any time, and I really did text her about things big and small.
Some of the best days in my office are the days when someone walks in out of the field and tells me that there's a patient that needs something that is not covered by insurance. And I have the ability to reach out and to actually make a difference right then and there.
I continue to be a patient advocate. I really care, and it's from the heart.
This is a little memento of our appreciation. It's a little pin that says, "We honor veterans." And I have the honor of pinning it on you.
Wow, Dad. Our staff, both management staff as well as clinical staff, are just superior. Our organization, Visiting Nurse Home and Hospice, is ready for the future.
Everyone that I talk to on a day-to-day basis within the organization talks from a place of passion and a place of real compassion and understanding for the patients that we have the privilege of taking care of each and every day.
Ready? 2.
All right. Oh.
I hope you enjoyed this video and have a better understanding of the many services we provide. This video, along with a recording of this meeting, will be available on our website tomorrow. We hope you will share it with friends. We are so fortunate to have a dedicated board of directors to guide and support us, and I'd like to take a moment to introduce Mark Huff, our board president. Mark, thank you and the board for their service to Visiting Nurse Home and Hospice.
Thank you, Jennifer, and good evening, everyone. I've been part of the board leadership at Visiting Nurse Home and Hospice for the past 5 years, but 2019 was my first year as president. I'm proud of the success the agency had in 2019, the dedication of our clinical, support, and management staffs set us apart from other home health agencies and hospice providers. I'm pleased to be teamed with our Chief Executive Officer, Jennifer Fairbank, who is one of the most talented executives I've had the privilege to work with in my 45 years of senior healthcare management. She possesses that rare combination of honed executive business skills with a heartfelt compassion for our patients and professional caregivers. She's the right leader to carry out our new strategic plan that will ensure we continue delivering on our mission of providing home health care to local communities with compassion. Our clinical staff go into the community every day to ensure our patients receive quality healthcare services, including nursing, rehabilitation therapy, palliative, hospice, and end-of-life care, all in the comfort of familiar surroundings at home or, if necessary, in a facility. I liken our staff to paratroopers, at the ready to go where and when needed. Across all departments of our agency, our people work hard, manage situations creatively, and are passionate about serving patients and their families. The board is continually amazed at the agency's quick response to the COVID-19 crisis and commends the staff and leadership on their professionalism and commitment to their patients. In the decade ahead, the Visiting Nurse Home and Hospice Board, leadership, and staff will work together to serve patients with responsible fiscal management, quality programs, and a caring, holistic approach. Thank you, Jennifer, and all of the staff for what you do for our community each and every day. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge those who serve on the board of directors. This year, the board was deeply involved in development of the agency's new strategic plan. It was a ton of work, and I want to thank Karen Pucciarelli for facilitating such a successful planning process. First, I want to thank my predecessor, Stacy Carter, for doing such an outstanding job in her years as president. I'd also like to thank retiring board member Rebecca McSweeney for her years of service to the board. On your screen right now is the current Visiting Nurse Home and Hospice Board of Directors. I thank them for all of their time, treasure, and talent that they've shared with this incredible community organization. Now, I'll send it back to Jennifer.
While 2019 seems like a long time ago, when we look back on our hard work, there are many successes to highlight. These successes include a deficiency-free annual home health survey conducted by the Rhode Island Department of Health, rollout of a new online professional development system as we address the critical training needs of our staff at every level of the organization, a record-breaking daily census of 996 patients in the spring of 2019, a successful transition to Medicare's patient-driven grouping model, which required an overhaul of our internal systems to accommodate federal changes around billing and reimbursement. One particularly successful endeavor is our completion of a comprehensive strategic plan. During this process, we became re-energized as we reconnected to our mission and beliefs and used both internal and external data to craft a vision and strategic plan that will be our guidepost for future years. It was so impressive to witness Visiting Nurse Home and Hospice leaders, including a full complement of board members, sharing data across our different lines of business to gain a holistic view of the agency that revealed our strengths as well as areas where we need to grow. We also examined trend data and use this information to determine ways that we can become and remain a competitor and leader in this ever-evolving healthcare world. We coalesced around 6 important goals: strengthening the recruitment, hiring, and professional development systems, implemented effective branding and marketing strategies, growing and innovating hospice, community health, and special programming, refining the organizational structure to position the agency for future growth and fiscal stability, developing robust emergency preparedness, risk management, and cybersecurity plans, strengthening program governance and board engagement. Our new vision statement also came out of this work. I hope everyone commits to memory and repeats often. Visiting Nurse Home and Hospice will be known as the home healthcare and hospice provider of choice by innovating, educating, and delivering on our promise of exceptional patient-focused care. This will be achieved by empowering our workforce and adapting to the ever-changing needs of the communities we serve. As we look ahead, we have a renewed sense of purpose and direction. We are an agency that is in the midst of change. We are committed to supporting our staff in making the changes necessary to remain resilient as an organization and patient-focused as a superior provider of hospice, home health care, and community programs. I invite you to view our 2019 annual report, which is now available for download on our website, visitingnursehh.org. Thank you.
Mary Dyer was a long-serving and dedicated Chief Executive Officer for the agency. In her honor, the Mary A. Dyer Award was established in 1989 by the Board of Directors of the Visiting Nurse Home and Hospice to recognize individuals and organizations that have demonstrated outstanding service to our agency. This year's Mary A. Dyer Award goes to Nancy Harrington, celebrating 40 years of nursing services to Visiting Nurse Home and Hospice. Nancy began her nursing career at Visiting Nurse in July of 1980, when the agency was located on Chapel Street in Newport. She's worked tirelessly to provide high-quality nursing care and education to her patients in order to help them achieve optimal health and wellness, and to be able to self-manage their healthcare needs. Nancy has always been an advocate for her patients, the community in which she serves, and this agency. During her tenure at Visiting Nurse, Nancy has taken care of countless patients in the community. Patients request her by name when being admitted to service because of the quality and compassion she's provided. Nancy has also worked at health and wellness clinics to provide screenings for members of the community. She's a trusted partner with the local assisted living community, where she has been assigned as the primary nurse contact. She's a very devoted supporter of Visiting Nurse Home and Hospice and advocates the nonprofit model home health care. Congratulations, Nancy.
We are proud to announce a new award that will be part of the Visiting Nurse Home and Hospice Agency for years to come. The Kathleen Connell Can Do Award will recognize individual nurses, therapists, and providers who have demonstrated a commitment to delivering relevant healthcare education to the senior community. Some of the award criteria will include innovative and pertinent development of health programs for seniors, long-standing leadership and commitment to the mission of Visiting Nurse Home and Hospice, a can-do approach that faces challenges and the stigma of aging with compassion and dignity. Kathleen Connell has worked her entire career in healthcare. Her legacy began on Clark Street in Newport, where the Visiting Nurses had an office on the second floor. There she is, smiling brightly at the front of the group. Today, Kathleen continues to serve seniors as the Rhode Island Director of AARP. Her unwavering commitment to nursing over the years make her the obvious person to receive the inaugural Connell Can Do Award. Thank you, Kathleen, for all you have done and continue to do.
Without our volunteers who visit hospice patients, provide veterans with honors, and serve on our board, and help with any number of administrative tasks, we'd be lost. We recognize the following volunteers for their years of service. The Volunteer Presidential Awards are given to those volunteers who clock 100 or more hours in a calendar year. Well done, everyone. Thank you to all volunteers for your gifts of time and talent. The agency would be lost without you.
Visiting Nurse Home and Hospice has been blessed with loyal employees. Employees celebrating milestone anniversaries with the agency were given their award pins within their smaller work groups. This year, we have employees celebrating anniversaries from 5 to 25 years with us. We want to take a moment to recognize Kara King-Barron, registered nurse, and Diane Rustad of Medical Records for reaching the milestone of 25 years of employment and service to our agency. Thank you all for your dedication to the Visiting Nurse Home and Hospice mission. In closing, I want to thank the many foundations and individual donors who continue to support us. We also want to thank all of the sponsors and attendees at our chocolate brunch and golf tournaments. These fundraisers had to be canceled in 2020, so we hope you will remember to support us in your end-of-year giving. It is easy to give today on our website. As we leave you, we will share some historic agency photos. We hope you enjoy them. Thank you for joining us, and stay well.